Good evening, fellows. Welcome back again into the weekly market outlook. I hope you all doing well, enjoying your weekend, and getting ready for the next week. Yeah, so dollar index. Last week we were looking for continuation to the upside. We have seen continuation, yeah, but that continuation is not going to continue with this trend, yeah. If you fellows do remember that, last week we were looking for price action at this area and that trade setup. Yeah, continuation up to that trend line. Alright, so we have seen continuation from that area, but price started to struggle at the previous low. Yeah, you fellows can see that price started to struggle at the previous low and started to fall. Alright, so if you do remember, what we were looking for bigger trade from the bottom to the top, yeah, complete reversal on dollar index, yeah. And if you do remember, we were looking for aggressive, yeah, aggressive rise from this bottom like that. All right, so how price is rising? Price is rising like correctively. You fellows can see that. Okay, so this price behavior is just giving us a signal, and that is price is struggling to rise. Yeah, price is struggling. So what it can do, it can fall back for another move to the downside. Okay, so it can fall back to the bottom again for another move. All right, so it can fall back like that. So just 1 second, fellows. I'm having issues with my pen. Alright, so you all can see that it is rising correctively, not rising so aggressively. We were looking for price to rise aggressively so that we can see the reversal. Alright, so we can see it is struggling within this area and within this area, yeah, struggling, falling back aggressively to the downside. Alright, so those fellows who are looking for the reversal from the bottom to the upside, you have to be careful. Okay, what it can do, it can keep rising like that for a couple of another moves and can drop back. Okay, I'm having issues with my pen. I have no idea why. Let me fix that one quickly. Alright, so like that. Okay, like the previous one, if you do remember this previous flag, okay, the bigger flag. So what it can do, it can fall for another move to the downside. So we have to be careful for complete reversal from the bottom. Okay, so you fellows can see this continuation formation. All right, so similar like that continuation formation is just developing at this area. Okay, so what it can do, it can go for another move to the downside. That move, okay, that move is possible over there. So what we need to do, how we can trade for upside, for buying, that is the place where we need to pay attention for next week. Okay, we are still above this area. Okay, above this area. All right, we are still above from this area, so we're gonna pay attention at this bottom. Okay, and we're gonna monitor how price gonna rise back to that trend line. Okay, so that's gonna be the trade for next week. All right, if this wave gonna be corrective again, similar like that, we are going to get down. Okay, we are going to get down for another move down. If this wave gonna be aggressive, price start to rise aggressively from the bottom like that, like this. Okay, so we are having the reversal over there for longer term to the upside. Okay, so the bigger structure, bullish continuation formation. So pay attention at this area for next week. So you can put your thin lines Yeah, so pay attention at this previous bottom at this area 786. Okay, so that's going to be the trade. All right, let the price come close to this area. That's going to be the trade. And once price is going to hit to your trend line, then watch. In case price do not hold this area, and start to fall like this, okay, like breakdown, okay, so don't sell at this area. This is not a sell place. So sell place was that, okay, that sell place. If you do remember, the last week I have told you, watch if price continue break above that channel, then watch the top. So we are struggling at the top. If price broken down this area, there is no sell. Okay, don't look for sell. All right, so if anyone show you by drawing their chart or something like that, and show you that look for sell this breakout, okay, this breakout, this is not a sell breakout setup. Okay, if you're gonna sell at this area, you're gonna stuck somewhere here. Price can reverse from this area or even can reverse from this area, okay, at the previous low. So this is not a sell place. Okay, this is a buy place. Look for upside and look for price action at the bottom, and look for upside, look for buy at this area. All right, so in case if we're gonna see breakdown at this area, then watch this previous low, 100% retracement of the impulse. All right, so we are looking for reversal. Currently we are in continuation formation on bigger time frame, daily time frame, but on 4-hour time frame we're still looking for upside that trade. Okay, this is the trade for next week. All right, this is the way, the trade we fellows need to look for. Euro USD quite similar like that. If you do remember the last week, where was the price? Price was at the top. Okay, so we were looking for short from that top. All right, so this area we were looking for, this area. So price is still holding that area, similar like the dollar index. That the way dollar index is not breaking, yeah, the way dollar index is not breaking up, similar like that, this pair is not breaking down. Yeah, buyers still not leaving Euro USD. So buyers not leaving Euro USD is the bigger image. The bigger image we are looking for. We are looking for breakdown of this bigger corrective up wave. Okay, breakdown like that. All right, if we're not gonna get that wave, at least we're gonna get the correction for continuation upside. All right, okay, so this is the trade we fellows need to look for. We are still under the impulse, the impulse we have seen previously. We're gonna follow that impulse. Okay, so that wave still in its way. Yeah, we have spoken about that wave last week. Yeah, if price tests this area, what you need to do, you need to look for that trade. Okay, that short-term trade to the downside. So buying for that much is already the upside is finished. Yeah, so that was the place where you can look for buy at this area. Okay, so if you're gonna buy from this area, that's going to be slightly risky. So this is not a buy place. So wait for the price to hit this area, then look for that trade. Okay, and once price gonna hit this bottom, look for continuation to the downside. All right, so what we are having, how price is just developing at this area, it is developing a continuation formation. Okay, for upside. So we were looking for continuation to downside, but price is not doing like that. It is still within the continuation formation for upside, but we are still under that impulse. Okay, once we're going to see price is going to close above, then we will look for continuation to the upside. So far, there is no, no buy the breakout setup at this area. Don't buy this breakout. If someone is showing you something like that, I mean impulse, continuation formation, and buy that breakout, this is not a buy breakout. Yeah, similar like that, dollar index is not a sell the breakout. All right, similar like that, this is not a buy the breakout, and dollar index is not sell the breakout. Okay, so what price can do, price can fall back again. Okay, so it is forming a lower degree continuation formation at this area. Price is struggling at this area. So what it can do, it can keep falling. Okay, it can keep falling from this area. In last week, price struggling within these areas. So where your trade setup is, your trade setup at this area. Okay, that trade setup. watch the price to hit that area, then go for that trade, or watch this area. Okay, if price hold that bottom, then you can look for that trade for next week. Okay, and then this. All right, so last week trade setup completed on this pair, one more up move within that pattern. Okay, so if you don't remember the USD CAD, we are within that continuation formation under that impulse. Okay, so we are still looking for reversal to the downside. So USD chief, yeah, so we have seen nice impulse last week at this area, if you do remember this area. Okay, we were looking for that trade and continuation to the upside. Okay, we haven't got the breakout. Price did not continue from the previous high. Yeah, started to fall back. So some of our traders have already taken profit at this area, and we were looking for another move to the downside in our trading room. Okay, so for next week, some of my traders are already into that trade from this area when this impulse was appearing on Friday. Yeah, so what is the trade for next week? That is the trade. Okay, that is the trade. Similar like this previous one. Okay, that trade. All right, so once price gonna hit that trend line, we will watch how price gonna react over there on that trend line. Where you need to look for buy, where is the buy area? As much low as you can at this area. Okay, in case price do not hold this area, okay, do not hold this area, then wait and watch for the price to do something like that, similar like the previous week, and then this is the trade gonna be over there. Okay, once price gonna retrace up to the 100% of the impulse, this impulse, then that's gonna be the trade setup over there. Okay, or you can say that double bottom. Okay, buy on double bottom. All right, so currently what you need to look for, you need to look for continuation formation on lower time frame, this continuation formation. Okay, so that continuation formation, which is just developing over there, as much low as you can. Okay, as much low as you can. So some of our traders already into this trade somewhere here, but this impulse was just getting over there. So because we have spoken about this pair in our trading room about that area, so we were looking to buy at the bottom. Yeah, so those fellows who are not into that buy place, not into that buy setup, what you can do, you can wait for the lower degree flag and then you can buy. Yeah, so that is the way we were looking for in our trading room that way when price was testing this area, this previous low. Okay, so currently price has bounced back so aggressively from that previous low. All right, that previous low so aggressively and forming 15-minute trend continuation formation. Yeah, you can see over there developing. Okay, what it can do, it can break for another move to the downside, and once price is going to come close somewhere here within these areas, look for that trade. Okay, so that trade as much low as you can so that you can manage your stop placement. So buying on higher or within the current area, current price, is going to give you a reasonable risk reward ratio. Okay, for example, if you're going to buy at the current price like that, okay, so you're going to put your stop loss somewhere here behind that. So this stop loss not going to be reasonable over there. Yeah, so huge. Okay, so this stop loss is slightly risky. Okay, if you're going to put stop loss somewhere here, this stop loss is risky. Why is it risky? Because if price not going to continue and test this trend line again, you're going to start to worry. Yeah, all right, so you're going to start to worry. So if you're going to look for buy as much low as here, somewhere here, the way I have just shown you the previous picture, we were looking for buy at that area, you can put your stop behind that impulse. Yeah, behind that impulse, or this stop is going to be something like reasonable for you. Okay, and even the risk reward ratio also going to be much better, as much low as you can. Yeah, if price tests that bottom, so try to buy as much low as you can. So 15-minute time frame should retrace up to the 786 or 618. Okay, 618 of the previous 15-minute impulse, like that. All right, at least up to this area or this area. Okay, this is the area where you need to be interested for upside rather than at the current price. I hope you fellows got the idea how to look at the buy on USD. All right, so let's look at the wicks and then a couple of stocks indices and then move on to the forex pairs other. All right. So WIX, some fear gauge was rising. We have seen some events in last week, political and some terrorist activities in the Spain, and because of that we have seen some impact on the indices and wicks. Yeah, so I'm not looking for this to continue to the upside. Yeah, all right. So if wicks is not going to rise, means that indices not going to continue to the downside. Yeah, so we don't see any bigger correction of indices at the moment. Yeah, so there is slight correction or dip. We can look for buy or upside on indices. Okay, so short-term trade setup, back to the bottom again, the way we have seen this move. All right, this move, if you do remember that move. All right, this move. Okay, so similar like that, I'm looking for another move to the downside and then long from the bottom. Okay, so S&P 500, we have taken some profit on this move. We have taken some profit on this move. Yeah, and we are still looking for upside for buy. Again, from the bottom. Let me show you how you fellows need to look for. Okay, so what we are having, some fellows, some traders or some investors thinking that this is the bigger correction, start of the bigger correction on S&P 500 to the downside. Yeah, they are thinking that this is the bigger, you know, consolidation is coming over there on S&P 500. So what we are having this channel. Okay, this is basically a reversal formation. This is basically a reversal formation. Yeah. Okay, so what price can do? Price can go for another up move like that. Yeah, it can go for another up move like that. Okay, so S&P 500 can rise for another up move. If so, then we can look for that buy. We can look for that buy for another up move to the downside. Yeah, so what I'm looking for S&P 500 to tag 2500 before a bigger consolidation. So we have seen some nice bearish price action from the close to the previous top, and but we can see that daily close on Friday is something like doji candle, is that we may hold that bottom. All right, so that was the trade last week, which I have shown you in the previous meeting, in the previous weekly forecast. Okay, so we're gonna look for that trade this week. Okay, this week, that is the trade. We're gonna look for that trade. If price gonna start to struggle again at close to the previous top, you can take off. Okay, you can take off your profit. And how you need to look for upside. You need to look for upside once price gonna form an impulse over there like that. Okay, that's gonna be the continuation formation. That's gonna be the trade. Continuation formation. That's gonna be the trade. This is the continuation formation. That's gonna be the trade. Okay, that is the continuation formation. That is your trade for upside. Okay, so let me look at the trades we have taken last week, so that you fellows can understand how you need to look for those trades. Yeah, let me bring that image. Let me bring back that image. So yeah, so you fellows can see that that was the impulse, that was the continuation formation, that was the entry. Yeah, that was the continuation entry, and another continuation setup, that was the buy setup, and that was the breakout, strong breakout. So that was another entry over there. Yeah, so that impulse was appearing over there. So we have taken some profit at this area close to the 2470. Okay, so similar like that. Once you're gonna see these continuation formation, there's gonna be entries. Okay, similar like that. All right, so we have seen nice impulse on Friday at this area, and we were looking for buy. Some of our traders already into that area somewhere here. Okay, so what you need to look for continuation of this flag to the upside. All right, somewhere here. If you're gonna see these candles at this area, you can look for buy. Okay, if we don't see any bullish candles over here at this area, then what you can do, the plans you can make over here for S&P 500 is this. Okay, if you don't see any bullish candles over there and price just keep forming these corrective candles like that and break down, okay, then watch this 2400 area. Okay, that's going to be the much better place to look for buy at this area. All right, 2400. We are already setting our entries at this area. Okay, I mean buy orders are already over there, so we're going to go for that trade. So if price has this area, that is the trade. Nice trade is going to be over there on S&P 500. All right, so I don't think so this is the start of the bigger correction. Okay, because whenever this pattern forms, these patterns break so aggressively to the other side. Yeah, basically this is a reversal formation. Yeah, we don't see these kind of candles. What we see like that aggression. Okay, this kind of aggression. All right, impulse, stronger impulse. So we don't see that impulse at this area. These are the corrective candles, just a couple of candles over there which are bearish. So those candles we can see here as well. Okay, and then continuation. So we are still looking for upside. So good luck. So UK 100 index quite similar like the previous week. All right, so watch the bottom. This bottom. All right, so we have seen nice bullish candles over there last week. Price did not hit this bottom and started to rise at this area. So that is the place where we need to pay attention. Okay, if price tests this area, watch stronger impulse over there. Okay, so similar trade setup gonna be over here. The trade setup I have shown you on S&P 500. Okay, extension of the previous impulse. All right, extension of this previous impulse. So you can look for a target at this area or even up to that area. Okay, that trend line or even these areas, these extension areas. Yeah, 127. All right, so that is the trade. If we don't see this kind of impulse at this area, yeah, and price start to rise something like that correctively, okay, so there are going to be another short-term trade and then up. All right, so this continuation formation like that. Okay, this channel. All right, so what we are looking for, either for that correction or continuation. Okay, that trade. So looking for buy. So what you need to look for, you need to look for stronger impulse from the bottom, the way I have just shown you on S&P 500 and this pair as well. All right, so last week I was less interested to look for buy on this pair, but this pair started to rise aggressively at the bottom. Okay, so when market gonna open, look for same place again for upside, this area. All right, pay attention at this area, and that is the trade. All right, impulse, continuation formation, and next impulse or extension of this previous impulse. Okay, so retracement 50% of this previous impulse. Okay, so looks like we are having a triangle formation, and watch that bottom for upside. In case price breakdown, so currently we are already having a stronger impulse over there. You can see over there, nice impulse. Okay, nice impulse. So watch this when market gonna open. Watch this continuation formation. Yeah, this continuation formation. If this continuation formation is continue to the upside breakout, all right, like that breakout. Okay, pay attention at this area. All right. Okay, pay attention at this area. So that's going to be the breakout for upside. All right. So all indices are dipping. You are looking for upside. All right. So Nasdaq 100, quite similar like that. All right. So let me show you the bigger image. So I hope many of you fellows do remember the bigger structure, yeah, because we are still in the bigger structure, so that is the trade. Okay, so watch the bottom. Let me look at the lower time frame. So better to look for buy on S&P 500 and UK 100 index. So and this pair, yeah. Japan 225. So this is more aggressive than the UK 100 index. Yeah. So put S&P 500 and this pair on top of your list and look at them for buy. Nasdaq is slightly less aggressive as compared to the others. Okay, but you can pay attention at this area. Okay, at this area, that is the trade you need to look for and continuation. Okay, pay attention at this area. If breakdown and you misread the impulse, then don't hold your trade. Stop. Put your stop over there. Leave the market and let the price do something like that. Okay, test this area. Then potential going to be much bigger over there. Yeah, we have seen that move when it was falling aggressively, and we were looking for upside at this area. It was similar like that. If you do not get a nice buy setup over there, and market stop you all, then this is the place where you need to look for buy. Okay, so don't go for this much money, go for that much money. Okay, because we are in trending. All right, we are still in trending, and we don't see anything unusual in the world at the moment which gonna drive these indices to the downside. Yeah, so people are looking for bigger correction to the downside, but I don't think so that correction has started right now. All right, yeah, so something special required over there to push these indices to the downside. Yeah, so strong trend is over there. So we don't have anything special over there which is gonna put the indices to the downside. So short term upside. Okay, one more move up. So German 30 is less interested as we compare to the others. So we have seen rise from the bottom to the upside. All right, so less interested to take a trade on this pair. Yeah, so as this compared to the other indices. So what it can do, it can fall back and can rise back again to the top again. Yeah, we are having continuation formation bigger. So you have to pay attention for buy, set up as much low as you can. Yeah, like the previous one, this one. Okay, so the bigger continuation formation. So German 30 is less interested, less attractive as we compare to the others. Okay, so in longer term, this is the wave gonna be over there. Okay, so as much low as you can. Okay, you can look for buy as much low as you can. So now let's move on to the Forex pairs. Okay, so USD CAD, if you were following me on the trading view, then you do remember that what we were looking for on USD CAD. Okay, so we were looking for continuation formation. So we have seen that continuation formation breakout to the downside. Yeah, so breakout is not so aggressive. You all can see that. Yeah, breakout is not so aggressive. So last week we were looking for continuation formation. We haven't seen that continuation formation. That pair, price violated that impulse. Yeah, so we were anticipating price action at this area last time, if you do remember the previous. Yeah, so we have seen nice price action over there and breakout of that bigger daily flag after the Fed meeting minutes. Yeah, you can see over there. So price is just going to continue. Nice. So I hope you fellows managed to get into that trade. We have seen flag. that flag and break out of that flag. Okay, so we are going to go into this way. That is the trade which is going to complete at this bottom. Okay, so at this bottom we're going to see the price action. Either price is going to hold that double bottom or going to break down. Okay, so that was the charts. The charts I have posted over there, and you fellows know what we are looking for. We are looking for this bigger daily continuation formation. Alright, this bigger daily continuation formation. That. So we're going to pay attention at this area. If price is going to hold that bottom, that is the trade. Or even complete a reversal from the bottom. Okay, so next week we're going to be interested to this wave. First of all, let the price complete that short-term trade, and once price is going to hit this bottom, that's going to be the trade. Okay, that's going to be the trade. So maybe we're not going to get that trade within next week. Okay, so this trade setup can take up to 2 weeks. All right, up to 2 weeks. So if anyone looking to get into the market, you need to understand, yeah, it can take up to 2 weeks or even more than that. So we're going to monitor how price is going to behave. Yeah, going to behave aggressively or correctively. Okay, if going to be correctively, then even it can take more than that. Yeah, more than 2 weeks, something like this. All right, so price started to rise something like in August, and they completed that. Let me look at the exact timing. How many days price has taken up to this area? Yes, so started to rise on 28 July and completed that on 15. Yeah, almost 3 weeks, 3 or something like that. Yeah, 3 weeks. Yeah. Okay, so similar like that. So that trade setup gonna be for medium term, not for short term. This trade setup. All right. So for next week, there is a short term trade setup which we may see. Okay, that continuation formation required for another sell to the downside. Okay, this trade setup may appear over there. Okay, for that, let the price complete that continuation formation, then look for that trade. All right, so once price may hit the bottom, watch price action at the bottom. So New Zealand dollar can go for another up move. All right. Okay, so let the price complete that flag. If you do remember what we were looking for last week, this trade. Okay, so price completed that trade. Okay, so we were looking for price action at this bottom. So we have seen nice impulse and the continuation formation and breakout, and price is just developing a bigger continuation formation. So what it can do, it can go for another up move. All right, it can test 618 or 786. If so, we're gonna look for a bigger trade to the downside again, the way we have done at this area, these areas. All right, we have sold this area, we have sold this breakout, we have sold this breakout. All right, so we're gonna look for a bigger trade from 786 to the downside. Okay, so something like this bigger continuation formation. All right, that flag. Okay, fellows, so we're gonna look for 786 of this impulse and continuation for the downside. So bigger time frame is still showing bigger wave to the downside. Okay, so the longer term, we're gonna be bearish. All right, so if you fellows do remember the USD CAD, then you remember this pattern formation. All right, so this is the bigger wave we are looking for up to this bottom. All right, so this correction, the bigger correction we are looking for at the moment on this pair. All right, so short-term trade setup on 15-minute time frame, you can look for that short-term trade setup. All right, so that short-term trade setup. All right, so it has already going on its way, this short-term trade setup. All right, something like that. If price break down this area, you can hold up to this previous low. All right, but what we are looking for, bigger correction for continuation to the downside. Yeah, and price can retest the 786 or 618. If so, we're gonna look for those areas for bigger continuation formation to the downside. Okay, so that trade may appear over there next week. All right, that trade. So for that, watch this area. This is the short-term trade. Look for this area to, if price test that top again, then go for short. Don't look for short from this current price. That area not going to give you reasonable risk reward ratio. Okay, so New Zealand dollar and Australian dollar and US dollar. So we have seen what we were looking for on this pair. Nice breakout, stronger impulsive breakout, so price can test the top again. Okay, so this is the corrective wave which was forming over there, and we have seen nice breakout, and price is just forming a continuation formation at this area. Okay, so this is the potential we may see over there. Okay, that potential we may see over there. Yeah, so where we have seen bounce back at this trend line. I hope some of you fellows managed to get into that trend line. Okay, so for next week, so bigger wave gonna be downside from the top. So the short-term trade setup for upside. Okay, so we have seen that nice impulse. 1, 2, and 3. So this is the short-term trade on 15-minute time frame we need to look for. On lower time frame like 15 minutes. Yeah, this is the short-term trade. Pay attention at this bottom, at the top. Put your stop behind, look for that trade. Okay, so that trade gonna be slightly risky. You have to be careful, those who are looking to get into the market based on this previous top. Okay, slightly risky. Why? We can see that it's rising aggressively upside. Yeah, so it can keep rising like that, right? Okay, it can keep rising. So those fellows who are not into the buy side from this area or this area or this area, you need to look for buy at this area. Okay, this is not a buy place for you. All right, if it is going to continue, let it go. That is not for you. Okay, that area is not for you, those who are not into that trade. Okay, so where is the place for you to look for buy? This is the place. Okay, why this is the place? Because you can manage your risk reward ratio over there. You can't manage your risk reward ratio after getting into the market at this area. Okay, if you're gonna buy at this area, you're gonna put your stop behind that. You're gonna look for that trade. What it can do, it can go something like that and can drop, stop you, and then can continue. Yeah, you're gonna start to worry what it is happening. Okay, so the buy place, when this impulse was appearing, that is the buy place, or even this is the buy place. So some of our traders managed to get into this area. Some at this area, some at this area. Okay, now those who are not in, that is the place where you need to pay attention. Okay, so be careful. Once price gonna hit this area, watch price action and then look for buy. Okay, so you can look for this short-term trade as well within that continuation formation. Okay, this continuation formation. All right, that continuation formation. Then the breakout. All right, that trade. We can see the top again. If so, then we're going to look for sell from top again. So Australian New Zealand dollar, if you do remember last week what I said look for buy close to the trend line, this area. Okay, we have seen nice price action up to that trend line, and that was the short-term trade. So over. What you fellows need to look for, you need to look for stronger breakdown of this corrective uptrend. Okay, once price is going to start to break down, you can look for sell. All right, that trade, I'm still looking for that trade, although price has violated the previous top, previous impulse, but it is rising correctively. Okay, it can't keep rising like that. It will break down. So once it will break down, you can join that stronger impulse over there at this area. Okay, so that's going to be the trade for you. Even it can push up to this bottom, this bigger channel line. All right, this bigger channel line. So it can test the bottom again, this area, this previous low. All right, so watch this stronger impulse from the top. So buy potential is less over there. Be careful. Buy potential is less over there. Yeah, only this much potential going to be over there. If price is going to test the channel line again or trend line, then buy potential going to be something like that. Okay, so smaller over there. What you need to look for? You need to look for stronger impulse like that. Okay, something like this. All right, so join that impulse once you're going to see that for short. So pound dollar is doing what we were looking for. Yeah, so let me show you a couple of pictures so that you fellows can understand how we can trade on patterns. If you understand the patterns, you understand the next move. All right, so if you do not understand the patterns, you're going to start to struggle. All right, so this is the first formation. If you do remember, we were looking for that formation, that possible formation in the last weekly outlooks. Yeah, that pattern formation. All right, this pattern formation. So we have seen that pattern formation and then drop from that top. All right, so we have seen that formation. All right, so that formation at this area, that flag, and then that breakout, and then drop from that top. All right, so one more image should be over there. All right, so if you do remember these charts, then you understand the patterns. Okay, so this is the pattern which we were having over there. So we were looking for sell from that top. So what we have seen from that top, we have seen nice impulse from that top. Okay, and price broken down. Let me show you this pattern. Okay, that was the pattern which I was anticipating over there. And then we have seen nice impulse over there, continuation formation, and price is still going to continue the way we were looking for. All right, so what we have seen this impulse and continuation formation to the downside. Yeah, these were the last week we were looking for price action at this area. We haven't got that price action, price up to that area. Price started to fall at this area. Okay, so we are still in a bigger ascending wedge. Okay, the pattern which I have shown you, the reason to show you the bigger formation, the lower degree formation, this formation means that this one more up move is possible over there within that formation. Okay, something similar like that. All right, so anyone looking to sell the pound USD, you need to understand that what's going on over there. Okay, which formation this pair is forming. Yeah, so it is forming a bigger similar pattern formation, the pattern formation I have shown you. Okay, this pattern formation. All right, this pattern formation we are having. Okay, so this one more up move is possible over there. All right, this one more up move is possible over there. So anyone looking to sell at this area or this area, you need to understand. Okay, you need to understand that one more up move is possible. Okay, so how price gonna continue to the downside? Okay, for that we need a bigger daily continuation formation at this area, over that trend line or under that trend line. Okay, bigger daily continuation formation. That bigger daily continuation formation gonna invalidate that up move. Okay, so that bigger continuation formation gonna give us an idea that it is going to continue to the downside. All right, so for downside we need a bigger continuation formation under the wedge or above the wedge. Okay, for that wave, that bigger wave to the downside. All right, so for the next week, what we can look for, we can look for within this pattern, within that pattern, one more move down. All right, one more move down within that channel. Okay, this pattern, if you do remember the USD can. Okay, that is the trade where you need to look for sell at this area. Some of our traders already managed to get into this place, so Those who are not, that is the place. So we were looking for breakout. We haven't got the breakout at this area. Price managed to get in. Yeah, we were looking for breakout. We haven't got the breakout. Price managed to get in. So normally we try to get into the market before the breakout. We don't look for the breakout trade setup. So we watch the patterns and try to get into the market before. Yeah, you can see over there, look for sell as much high as you can at this area. Okay, and then watch for breakout. We haven't got the breakout. Price came and managed to get back into that formation. So this is the place where you need to pay attention again for that trade. Okay, within that pattern. So this is the reversal formation, the formation we are having on pound USD. Currently this formation is telling us that we may see one more up move. All right, this up move. Okay, if so, what we need a stronger impulse from this area, something like that we're going to look for that trade. Okay, if we don't see this impulse, we are not buyer. All right, so if we don't see that impulse somewhere here or somewhere here, we are not buyer. Okay, so we have continuation formation, we are seller. Okay, so this is the trade for next week. Once price is gonna hit this trend line, watch price action at this area. If it is going to rise back aggressively, get into the market at this area, take your money off at this area, look for buy at this area, and look for continuation up to that trend, you know, up to upper top. Okay, if we don't see an impulse and price again form a continuation formation, simply hold that short and look for another entry. Okay, look for another short this trade, if you do remember the USD CAD. All right, so let's move on. Let me explain the other pound pairs at this area so that you can understand others as well. So pound Aussie dollar is falling aggressively, not so aggressively, but this is the trade. Okay, for next couple of weeks, this is the wave we're gonna look for. Okay, so that is the direction. Similar like the way we have traded on that wave, we have traded on that wave. Okay, so that is the bigger wave. All right, like that. All right, so you can see over there price went into that direction. So similar like that, we are forming a bigger continuation formation. So highly likely price gonna stop at this bottom and gonna start to rise. Currently we don't see any buy sign at this area. Okay, if you are following me on this formation, then you do remember what we were looking for at this area. We were looking for a short. Okay, so the bigger wave, that is the bigger wave for next couple of weeks. So we have to be careful for any short, any sell at the bottom. Okay, any sell at the bottom. Okay, so that sell gonna be only for short lived. Okay, something like that. So we have sold this area, this area. Now we are looking for a reversal. Okay, so that short term trade may appear over there next week. If so, and you want to sell that move, then at least your sell should be somewhere here. Okay, at this area, at this place. Okay, that is the sell place. If you're gonna sell at this area, this is not a good place to look for sell. So at least at this area. Okay, so get ready for the bottom on this pair. Pound CAD, quite similar like that. Okay, so we are looking for a reversal now on these pairs. All right, so the bigger wave is about to complete. We're gonna look for this wave now. Okay, so that short-term move may appear over there. Some traders looking for buy based on this support, but price is breaking down that support. Yeah, not holding that support. So we're gonna look for this bottom, previous low, for upside that bigger wave the next couple of weeks. All right, so short-term move, a wave may appear over there. Yeah, if you do remember where we were looking for sell, we were looking for sell at this area, and the last week we haven't got price up to that area, and price started to fall before that flag and going to continue. Yeah, going to continue. All right, so any new sell for next week over there gonna be based on the continuation formation again. All right, so I think I posted that chart on 30 minutes. Yeah, we have got that chart. All right, so we have seen this wave. All right, price was holding that place and breaking down. Couple of more tests and then drop. All right, so far doing perfect. So if you are looking for another, so don't look for buy at the moment, okay, because there is no any sign for upside. Buy sign only gonna be over there once you're gonna see some bullish candles over there, strong green candles over there. Okay, then people are getting into the market. Whatever the reason you are using for buy, like you are using the support area, you are using the yellow lines, blue lines, your fib lines, or any tools, or moving averages, any tools. All right, so those tools not gonna push the market to the upside. Okay, those tools not gonna push the market to the upside. Those tools only gonna give you some information that price may reverse from that particular place, particular point, or particular retracement areas. Okay, those tools not gonna confirm that price will reverse from that particular point. Okay, so which information you need to look for? You need to look for solid impulse. Yeah, solid green candles. Yeah, those candles gonna give you the reversal sign, reversal signals. Okay, until you don't see those candles, there is no buy. Okay, there is no buy. There is no reversal. We are still going to continue to the downside. Yeah, so some fellows use their tools and love their tools and only rely on their tools. So tools only going to give you some information, will not confirm the reversal. Okay, so if we're going to see another continuation formation, look for another short-term trade for next week. Okay, this short-term. So until we don't see impulse, bullish impulse from the bottom, we are having short-term trades. Yeah, like this trade, like that trade, like that trade, and again like that trade, and again if we're going to see continuation formation, so short-term trade to the downside. Yeah. Okay, so which information you need to look for reversal? Let me show you. All right, so let's look at the previous bottom. Yeah, this information is required. This kind of information is required before looking for buy. Okay, once you're gonna see that information is just coming over there on the chart, then we need to be interested to buy. Okay, so that is the continuation formation, that is the reversal. I hope you guys got the idea. And similar like here on this pair on New Zealand dollar. All right, so bigger, this is the bigger structure, bigger formation we are looking for. Yeah, this one more move down is possible. Okay, so maybe we're not going to see that. Yeah, price is going to start to reverse from the bottom. If so, we're going to pay attention at the bottom. All right, at this area, this is the place where we need to pay attention for reversal. If you're going to see the breakout to the downside, that's okay. We are already into that short from that area. If no, and going to hold that, take off your profit, look for that trade. And if it is going to continue, you are into that trade. Okay, so bigger trade to the upside. 1 hour time frame. If you do remember the previous charts, yeah, we haven't got the continuation on this breakout, and price get back to the top again. So we were looking for short again from that top. We got the nice breakout, and price is going to complete that trade. Okay, watch this area. This is the place where you need to take up your profit if it is going to hold that area for another up move. Okay, so take up your profit, look for that trade. All right, look for that trade. Yeah, if it is going to break down, stay into that trade, the trade you are holding from that short. Watch for the downside. Yeah, no sell at this breakout. There is no sell setup. Don't look for sell this area, the bigger continuation formation breakout. There is no sell setup. Don't sell for this breakout. This does not make sense. Look for continuation to downside. And once price gonna hit the bottom, Watch price action for another up move. Okay, if up move start to appear over there, get into the market, join that. Okay, this impulse, if this wave is going to appear over there, join that. Yeah, something like that, join that. Maybe that wave going to continue for the upside. If so, you need to be into that trade from this bottom. So let's move on to the other pairs now. So USD yen is showing some strength from the bottom. We were looking for impulse last week, so we have seen nice impulse, but price managed to get back to the bottom again. All right, so we are having some nice price action again at the bottom, means that some buyers are interested at the area. Okay, so we were looking for price action at this area. If you do remember, we have seen nice breakout, and then we haven't seen the continuation formation. Yeah, if you do remember, which I have shown you last week. Yeah, so price started to fall aggressively, continuation, and then get back, and then getting strong impulse at this area. Okay, that is what we need to look for upside. That is what we were looking for. So let me show you the chart. Let me show you the chart so that you guys can understand what we were looking for in our room on this pair. We were looking for one more move down on this pair, and we have got that one more move down, and we were looking for 786, and price managed to get back with strength, strong bullish candles. Yeah, that is what we were looking for in our room. Yeah, when this impulse, so we were anticipating bigger continuation at this area. We haven't got the bigger continuation. So what we got impulse, continuation, and the next wave. Yeah, we got the next wave. So we were looking for 786. So price went beyond that, retraced 100%, and then started rise aggressively. That is what we were looking for when the price was not going to continue, and managed to get back. Yeah, so we have seen impulse, and again we have seen impulse. Okay, so we are looking for continuation formation and then continuation to the upside. If we don't see continuation to the upside and price started to form a bigger daily continuation formation to the downside, yeah, so that means we may see another move to the downside. Let me show you a lower time frame. Okay, so far the bigger formation still showing that up move. Okay, so we are still looking for that up move for longer term. So let's look at the lower degree time frame, where you need to pay attention for next week. All right, so that is the place where you need to pay attention. Watch this lower degree 15-minute time frame. If you're gonna see that continuation formation, join from this at this area. Okay, this area, join that breakout or even before the breakout, and look for that continuation for upside. Okay, if price do not continue the bigger wave we are looking for, then what we may see over there, we may see the bigger daily continuation formation to the downside. All right, so where we're going to look for price action, we're going to look for price action at this area. Okay, this area. All right, this area, we're going to look for price action in this area. If price start to struggle at this area, we may see another move down. Okay, like that, this move down, and then even we may see the breakout of downside for further. Okay, up to the bottom trend line. Okay, like that, this one, this bottom trend line. Okay, or 786 of the previous impulse, or 105. Okay, but we don't look for this move at the moment. There is no reason to look for that move. So what we need to look for, we need to look for this continuation for upside. That is the trade for the next week. You need to pay attention. Okay, so look at the 15-minute time frame. You can see nice impulse, and price is just forming continuation formation. Pay attention at this area. Okay, All right, that formation, look for that formation, quite similar like this formation, okay, at this area, and then that is your trade. Use stop loss, don't trade without stop loss. Limit your losses using stop loss. In case price is not going to go into your way, you should not stay with the bad trades. Yeah, close your bad trades, move on to the next one. All right, so what I'm looking for on this pair, last week we were looking for another up move. We haven't seen that, price just keep falling. We're gonna watch price action at the previous low. All right, this bottom. We're gonna watch price action this bottom, and we're gonna look for that wave. In case price break down, perfect. Okay, so I will show you the lower degree, how you need to look for lower degree at this area. Okay, in case price form continuation formation and keep breaking this low, then you can stay into that short-term trade, yeah, up to this previous low. So we'll see that how price gonna react up to this area. Okay, currently you need to watch price action at this area. All right, why price action at that area? Because we are having continuation formation, impulse, again continuation formation, we may see another impulse. Look at this pattern formation, flat channel. All right, so let's look at the lower time frame. Okay, so let the price complete that formation, then look for another shot at this area. Okay, if we don't see that continuation pattern formation, and yeah, this continuation formation is required, something like this previous one. All right, so that's going to be the trade at this area. Okay, as much high as you can. In case we don't see that continuation formation and price started to rise aggressively like that, okay, then watch continuation formation for another big wave to the upside. Yeah, on daily time frame, the wave I have shown you. All right, okay, so that bigger wave to the upside. Pound yen and euro pound. Euro pound, if you do remember the last week we were looking for this move from this somewhere here at this area. Yeah, I told you watch price action at this area, so we have got that wave last week. Okay, so looks like this pair is not ready to get down, showing one more up move. All right, so if you do remember, we were looking for a big trade, this big trade to the downside. Yeah, so looks like this pair is not ready to do it to fall. Yeah, this big wave. So one more up move is possible over there. All right, so that up move, this up move is possible over there. If so, then you can look for that short-term upside. Those who are holding their short from this area or this area, or wherever you are holding for that big waves, what you need to do, you need to pay attention at this area. If it is going to rise, take up your profit, look for short-term upside, and then again get back into the market from that top. Hold your short from that top again. Okay, so we are having nice bullish candles. Yeah, so watch that continuation formation, this continuation formation. Yeah, and then that is the trade for next week. Okay, if price keep breaking that top and keep breaking that top, stay into that trade. Okay, up to that top, stay into that trade. This is your trade for next week. All right, so where you need to watch for price action, for exit at this area and at this area. Okay, okay, watch these areas for price action. If price hold that top, okay, this top, then this is the short trade you need to look for. Okay, that trade. If price hold that top, form this continuation formation for downside, bigger Forex continuation formation. So lower degree, that is the continuation formation you fellows need to look for. Okay, once price gonna complete that, similar like USDN, this continuation formation. Yeah, that is the trade. Yeah, and further continuation to the upside. Chief yen, if you do remember the last week, then you remember what we were looking for. That short-term trade completed. That short-term 15-minute trade completed, and then price started to rise aggressively. Yeah, so watch this area for next week. Don't buy at this area. Watch this area for that trade. Short them up, and let me show you the bigger image. Is everything all right, fellows? Do you hear me? Is everything all right? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so watch that bottom, this bottom, look for that trade up to this area, and then we're going to look for this short. Okay, this short. So that's going to be the trade for next week. All right, pay attention at this area. Yeah, that was the trade. That was the trade, and but price managed to get into that channel. Okay, so watch this bottom for next week. One more up move is possible. New Zealand yen, couple of more pairs left, but those pairs are 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 having nice trade setup. So we have to talk about those pairs so that you fellows can take those opportunities as well. Yeah. So what I'm looking for on this pair, we were looking for breakout on this pair in our trading room. We got the breakout, but we got the break-even trade. We sold at this area, but we got the break-even trade. Some fellows managed to get managed to take that profit when price was forming that formation. Yeah, so currently I'm neutral on this pair for next week. Yeah, what it can do, it can keep falling like that, or it can rise back. Yeah, so it can go both ways. Yeah, so currently I'm neutral on this pair, so there is not a good trade setup on this pair. Yeah, where you need to pay attention, you need to pay attention at this area for next week. Yeah, if price struggle at this top, you can stay short. Yeah, if price break up and then form a continuation formation, then you can look for upside. Yeah, so it can go both ways. So still in continuation formation, so careful. Yeah, so we have taken this trade in our trading room, and we were looking for another. We got that, but we got the break even. Yeah, price managed to get out. Okay, if price stay under that top, then you can look for that trade. Okay, in case if price break out, then look for continuation for upside. All right, so then look for continuation for upside up to that top. All right, like if this happens, price break up to that top. Yeah, that top, and similar like that on here on this pair cat yen. Okay, so we have taken trade in our trading room, short-term trade when price was breaking, but got the break-even trade. Price did not continue. So similar like that. Yeah, pay attention at this area. If price struggle to break up, you can look for that trade. Okay, if price break up aggressively like that, look for continuation and that trade up to that top again. All right. So Uzi yen is quite similar like these two pairs as well. All right, so that top, you need to pay attention. That top, if price struggle at that top, that is the trade. If price break up, then look for continuation at this area, lower degree, lower time frame, that is the trade. Okay, so potentially slightly less on these three pairs for next week. Let's look at the cat chief. Watch that top. Okay, we are having a bigger continuation formation under that channel. Yeah, so if you do remember, we have seen impulse, we have seen this continuation formation. Yeah, this continuation formation is just developing. Watch these tops, okay, that is the trade. Okay, that is the trade. So watch that tops at those channels. So they're going to be the short. All right, so watch this area, that top. If price forms continuation formation at this area, what it can do, it can push another up move. Okay, so be careful. So selling early going to be slightly risky. So let the price finish that move. Watch these areas. 100% placement. Yeah, we are in continuation formation, bigger for our continuation formation. So that is the trade for next week. If price going to continue to the downside, hold that trade for longer term to the downside. Okay, so USD chief is formed, a cat chief is forming a bigger continuation formation to the downside. All right, so we can see that bottom again, this bottom. EuroCAD, finally EuroCAD broken down, was staying at the top since very long. All right, so since very long, but finally broken down. Some of my traders are already into that trade. Okay, so pay attention. This short-term trade may appear over there, yeah, next week. And once price gonna test this area, you can look for that trade. Okay, so selling at this area gonna be slightly risky. Okay, so be careful those who are looking to sell at this area. So we were looking to sell at this area on this pair from this area. We sold at this area. We sold many times on this pair at this area, yeah. And we are still holding our shorts on this pair. We are looking for this pair to complete this formation up to this bottom, yeah, because price has died over there, and this is the reversal formation. So we were looking to this pair to complete that and move up to this bottom, yeah. So if price gonna complete that continuation formation, okay, so this continuation formation, all right, this formation. All right, if price gonna start to struggle at this area, so better to look for sell on this pair rather than on catchy. Okay, so what catchy gonna do? Catchy no gonna break down that continuation formation and gonna keep forming new highs over there. Okay, if you're gonna see continuation formation on this pair, yeah. So or that pair can go sideways. All right, that pair can go sideways like that. Okay, so both pairs are on a critical point forming a continuation formation for downside. So one pair will fall. All right, so you have to choose which pair you need to trade. Okay, so you have to choose which pair you need to trade. So for that you need to understand which is more clear for trade, which pair is tradable, yeah, and clear, showing clear trade setup. Okay, so watch this area. If that pair start to fall, what this pair can do, this pair can do something like that, yeah. Can this top, can test that top again. All right, okay, so EuroCAD, watch that top. If it is going to continue, there is no sell setup. Fellows, don't sell at this area. This is not a sell place. Okay, only at this area. So some of my traders managed to get into this area because of the news event on that day, on Friday, yeah, because at this area we were having a nice sell setup at that area, yeah. So similar like that, watch this place. Okay, if that is the trade you need to look for. In case price do not hold that area and start to rise, yeah, keep rising like that, you can look for buy if something like this happens over there, yeah. Impulsive candles appear over there, you can look for buy up to that top and then short again from that top. Okay, so I'm more interested to see the continuation for this downside because we are holding shorts on this pair. So pound chief was a excellent pair. This pair, you know, was pretty good. If you fellas do remember, I have given you the example when it was forming this impulse at this area. Yeah, I have explained this formation in the last couple of weekly outlooks. If you fellows are following me since a couple of weeks, yeah. Okay, so we are repeating the similar formation at this area. Okay, so price did an excellent job over there. So did what we were looking for. So last week we were anticipating price action at that trend line at this area. So we have seen price action slightly above that trend line. And then price started to fall aggressively. Yeah, so we have seen that breakout. Some of my traders managed to get into that breakout, and some of my traders managed to get into this trade as well, to this bottom. All right, so there is no new trade set up on this pair for next week. Yeah, only we can look for reversal or breakdown of bigger structure. All right, only we can look for a reversal from this bottom, or we can look for breakdown. Okay, we can look for reversal like that up move, similar like the other pairs, pound CAD, pound USD dollar, and pound New Zealand dollar. Yeah, the bigger wave over there. Bigger wave over there. Yeah, if so, the bigger we're gonna see the bigger wave on pound CAD, pound New Zealand dollar, pound Aussie dollar, and one more up move on pound USD, and one more up move on pound yen. Then of course this pair may give us another up move, and euro pound one more move down. So means that we may see pound strength in next coming weeks. Okay, so we're gonna monitor the bottoms for all those pairs. Okay, so either we may see the breakout for another move down, or we may see this kind of price action, yeah, for that next move to the upside. Okay, so we may see that price action for another up move like that. What you need to do, those fellows who are holding their shot from the top, watch this area. Okay, this bottom. So no new sell on this pair. No new sell over. There is no sell. So sell was here. We took that trade. Sell was there. Took that trade. Sell was there. Took that trade. Even some of fellows sold that area. Sold that area. Sold that area. Yeah. So you fellows are doing a good, excellent job. So no sell at this area. Okay. If you're gonna sell at this area, what price can do like that? Bombs. Okay, you're gonna start to worry about that. Oh, what's going on? It is reversing. So this is not a sell place. It is a reversal area. Okay, price can reverse from this place. If so, you're gonna start to worry. And what's going on? Okay, so what we need to look for? We need to look for a price action at this area. Okay, if we're gonna see price action, nice impulse. Price gonna generate a nice impulse at this area. Take your profit, the profit you are holding. Take your old profit off, and then look for buy. Okay. Look for buy. Yeah, nice impulse, continuation formation, and then buy. All right, so look at these previous price action so that you can understand what kind of price action you need to look for at that area. Okay, something like this. All right, if something like this is going to happen over there, you can join, or something like this. You can join for upside. All right. So you don't need to rely on your tools. You need to see. Okay, you need to see and you need to understand what's going on and where price is behaving. The areas are really important. Okay, so this area is really important. Price action area. Okay, that is the impulse you need to look for at this area. If you see, join, look for buy. Euro pound. Yeah, euro pound is showing a bigger wave to downside, but still not ready to do that. Still not ready to fall for that move. Okay, still showing that up the big wave. Look at this big wave. Still showing that big wave. All right, so the wave price is just rising. Recently, is not so aggressive to the upside. Yeah, so it's corrective. You can see over there, this wave is corrective. Okay. So what we need to look for, we need to look for stronger impulse over there, yeah, and continuation to the downside. If we don't see that impulse, then this pair is not tradable, yeah. This pair is not tradable. What it can do, it can keep forming lower degree candles and keep doing like that. Okay, so this is not a good potential for upside. This is not a good potential. So that is the price action you need to look for at this area, this area, this area, or from current area. Okay, wherever it is just coming over there, you need to monitor that. Once that price action is just coming over there, simply join that, get into the market. Okay, so if we don't see what price gonna do, let me show you. If we know gonna see impulse, so which trade gonna be over there? Okay, so that short-term trade setup gonna be over there, slightly risky. Okay, so buying on top is risky. So highly risky buying on top. Alright, so if price tests this trend line correctly, then you can look for that short-term up trade. Okay, so short-term up trade, this short-term up trade may appear over there, but as much low as you can. Okay, so you can look for buy for this short-term trade as much low within these areas. So this is not a buy place, this is a top. Okay, you're gonna get stuck over there and you're gonna start to worry about your trade. So as much low as you can, so that you can put your stop somewhere here and manage your risk. All right, so what we need to look for, this is a reversal channel. We need an impulse, stronger impulse from that top. Yeah, so euro have to get down. Euro have to get down. So not a good trade setup on New Zealand Chi for next week. This pair is still developing. So euro New Zealand dollar is setting up for a continuation formation to the downside. All right, so once that continuation formation completed, you can get in. Okay, so that wave may appear over there. All right, up to this channel line, and then up one more up move or break down and test this bottom again. Okay, so what you need to do, fellows, where you need to pay attention, remember this continuation formation hasn't completed yet. Okay, so we see particular signs for completion of these pattern formation, then we get into the market. Okay, if those scenarios do not meet, we don't get into the market. All right, so this pattern is just still developing. Okay, hasn't completed yet. Okay, what it can do, it can rise back. Okay, so this scenario is possible over there. So we see some certain things when we look at the continuation formation, then we get into the market. So when those certain things meet our criteria for entry, then we get into the market. Okay, so currently those certain things are not meeting our entry at this area. Okay, so for that, price should stay at this area for a couple of times. Okay, if price gonna stay at this area for a couple of times, then this we are gonna be ready for short. Right, then this we are gonna be ready for short. If price do not hold this top and break out like that, this is not ready to short. Okay, so watch this price action for that top again for this way. Even you can look for buy for short term. So currently it is developing for continuation formation to downside. Once gonna complete that formation at this area, okay, at this area, then look for short. Pay attention at the price action. So this is the short term trade. If breakdown, hold that trade up to this area. Euro Aussie dollar. Finally, price started to fall back within that bigger formation. So some people were getting worried about this chart. Yeah, the chart I posted over there, and they thought that price is not going to get down. It is going to go for longer term to the upside and not gonna get back. All right. So basically, they don't understand the patterns. They only understand the tools. Yeah. So they only understand the tools. They don't understand the patterns. So we understand the patterns. So we don't pay much attention on our tools. We pay attention more on price action. Yeah, so finally price broken down. So last week I have shown you this 15-minute time at the 15-minute continuation formation at that area. Okay, so price broken down. So we have seen that formation. This is not a continuation formation. Yeah, this is basically a reversal formation. So finally broken down. I hope some of you fellows managed to get in. If not, then watch for continuation formation. Okay, what we have seen last week, we were looking for, this is what I have shown you last week. All right, this flag. Okay, price broken down but did not continue, but never avoided this impulse. Okay, stay remain under that area and started to fall. So some of my fellows managed to get into this area when this was going to happen, and this pullback. Yeah, so we are still looking for continuation where you need to pay attention. All right, this continuation formation quite similar like Euro New Zealand dollar. Yeah, if Euro New Zealand dollar are going to fall, this we are going to fall too. This area, okay, that is the place where you need to pay attention. Okay, this possibility still exists over there, similar like Euro New Zealand dollar. If so, don't need to be frustrated over there. Okay, we have seen nice impulse over there. We're still gonna be short from that top. Okay, so for next week, where you need to pay attention, that is the place. Okay, that is the first trade within that lower degree channel. Let me show you the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so that is the trade setup. You need to look for this area. Pay attention at that area. That is the trade. Okay, so this is slightly aggressive, so you need to be careful at this area. Don't get into the market too early. Watch, wait and watch. Watch how price is going to behave at this area. Okay, that is the trade. If going to continue, perfect. We have seen nice impulse. All right. So what you can do, another thing, you can look for retracement. Yeah, this impulse retracement. Yeah, 50%, 618, or whatever you want to look for. You can use those retracement. So Uzi Chief is not ready to do anything. Not a good trade setup as with compared to the other, forming a continuation formation. Quite similar like Cat Chief. Okay, so we're gonna give more time to this pair. This is not a Not a perfect trade setup for next week. What it can do, it can stay at this area for a while, yeah, and can test this top again and can drop. Okay, so watch this completion one more time, this pair one more time. So oil, we were looking for breakdown. We haven't got the breakdown. We were watching price action. We have seen nice impulse over there. Yeah, so that was the trade setup we were looking for. We have seen nice. This is how structure plays. Okay, this is how structure plays. Okay, exactly price return from that trend line. So this is how patterns behaves. All right. So you fellows need to understand the pattern. We were looking for breakout at this area. We haven't got the breakout. Price bounce back at this area. Okay, bounce back, nice bounce back. So what it can do, it can keep rising for further upside. Where we need to pay attention, we need a continuation formation. Okay, if you want to look for buy, at least there should be a continuation formation on lower degree or lower time frame. If no, there is no buy setup. What it can do, it can stuck at the previous top again at this area. Okay, it can stuck at this and then can get back to the channel again. All right. Okay, so if you're gonna, there is no buy setup at this area. If you're gonna buy at this area, it can stuck at this area. So buy setup was there at this area on lower degree. Let me show you where was the buy setup. Basically, we were neutral in our trading room on oil. We were short on this pair, and some of my traders have taken their position off at this area. And we were watching. I was neutral at this area. I was watching price action, so I'm not into that trade. Maybe some of you fellows managed to get into this strong impulse. Yeah, that was a good and nice trade setup. Okay, if you managed to get into this area, wherever, or this area, you did an excellent job. Okay, so for upside, at least there should be a continuation formation. Yeah, clear, nice continuation formation. If that continuation formation is not clear and nice, then there is no buy setup. Don't go for buy. All right, it can stuck at this top again and can get back to the bottom again. All right, so oil is not ready to do anything. It is within a bigger structure, bigger channel. Okay, so let me show you the trade setup. The trade setup you can look for if you're gonna see the continuation formation on lower degree. Yeah, this continuation formation on lower degree, and that's gonna be the trade. Okay, that's going to be the trade. So slightly risky because buying on this top is not a good idea. Okay, so slightly risky. So better to watch price action at this area and then look for continuation to the downside. So watch price action at this area. Currently, it is not ready to do anything, fellows. Not for buy, not for sell. So New Zealand CAD hitting the bottom. Yeah, the bottom I have shown you in last couple of webinars. We are hitting that bottom. Okay, this bottom, so it is not ready to buy. It is not ready to buy. Okay, we don't see any impulsive signs over there. So what it can do, so trend line is not showing that buy. Okay, trend line is showing me that this is a continuation, this is a pattern formation. Okay, and what I can see over there, I can see this continuation, a pattern formation. Yeah, and price can return from that area to the upside. Okay, so this trend line is not a confirmation for buy. Okay, this trend line is showing me this possible pattern formation. Okay, for buy, we need a price action, nice price action in this area. This impulse required. Watch that impulse. If this impulse is appear over there, then you need to be interested to buy. Okay, if you don't see any stronger, this kind of candle over there, right, or this kind of candle over there. If you don't see that, don't buy. It can keep falling like that. Okay, can violate this area or this support. So understand the price action rather than understanding the support and resistance areas. So Euro Chief, we have, we ran out of time, right? So this pair, watch this continuation formation and that short them up move and then short from that top. So let me look at the gold quickly, yeah, and then let me look at this pair as well. Okay, there is an opportunity on this pair as well. Okay, so this is the trade setup, fellows. If price tests this area, short. Okay, this is the trade. This is the trade. If price tests this area, some of our traders are already short into this area. Okay, so that is the trade where you need to look for. So gold is also setting up for the short. Okay, nice impulse we have seen, nice price action, that is the trade. Okay, watch continuation formation on lower degree, that is the trade. Bigger wave to the downside. All right, so watch continuation formation at this area. So some of my traders in our trading room, they were looking for that trade. Yeah, they are doing excellent job. They understand the chart. They are understanding the chart, how charts are moving. Now what you need to look for, fellows, bigger wave to the downside, continuation formation. Watch this continuation formation. Okay, nice impulse. Some of my my traders are already into this trade from top when this was happening on Friday, because on Friday a dollar was gaining strength before the market close, and we have seen those strength across the dollar pairs. Okay, watch this continuation formation. All right, that's the trade up to this area and then further downside. All right, fellows. Okay, so do you have any question? All right, fellows. So enjoy your Sunday. Have a good day and good trading for the next week. All right. So enjoy your trading. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you. Bye bye.